Three big coronavirus updates breaking tonight live on Eyewitness News at 11 o'clock. Tonight, President Trump announcing a travel ban for people coming in from Europe and help for small businesses that are struggling and will be struggling. Also tonight, no more NBA after a player tested positive for coronavirus. And the most high-profile case yet, actor Tom Hanks announcing that he and his wife have coronavirus. We're here to catch you up on what you need to know, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Scott Wickersham.
And I'm Susanna Black. Let's start with the president. He said he was taking the most aggressive steps to fight the coronavirus. First, starting Friday, all travel between the U.S. and Europe will be suspended for 30 days. You're looking live right now at Charlotte Douglas, which has daily flights to Germany. Now, there is an exception in the ban for the UK, so flights to and from London will continue. Also, the president says those who are sick or are taking care of someone who is will get financial relief. And the Small Business Administration was told to provide support to companies affected by the coronavirus, as well as providing low-interest loans for small businesses.
I am confident that by counting and continuing to take these tough measures, we will significantly reduce the threat to our citizens, and we will ultimately and expeditiously defeat this virus.
And breaking in just the past few hours tonight, we learned an employee at a large company in Ballantyne is being tested for coronavirus. Now, Bright House Financial employees are being told to work at home until further notice. A spokesperson saying the move is being made as a precaution tonight. Also, all workers at the Charlotte Observer worked from home today because of concerns about the virus. They were told there was a possible indirect exposure inside their newsroom. Potentially exposed and vulnerable workers will now work from home or in the field for the next 14 days, or work from home for the next 14 days. Now, this is a trend we're going to start seeing more of as the virus spreads throughout the country. Today, we spoke to an expert who says the most important thing is to make sure that your company has a strategy in place.
So that if you are moving from the office to home, whether it's, because you're taking care of a sick child or because it's required of your company, just to make sure that you have some of those simple tools.
Another big company here, Bank of America, told us as of right now there is no mandatory company-wide work-from-home policy in place. Of course, Charlotte hotels, restaurants, and businesses are already taking hits as more people cancel their travel plans.
Reporter Glenn Counts joins us live right now. Now, Glenn, we've already heard of several things that are being rescheduled. How big of a hit are we talking about here?
Well, Susanna, I think all the experts agree there will be a big hit. The question is how big, and right now no one's got an answer to that. But I can tell you the impact is already being felt in some of these skyscrapers behind me. In Charlotte, hotels are typically full. At least that's the way it was at the Hyatt House.
We were getting ready to get one of the best first quarters we've had.
Matthew Allen is the general manager of the Hyatt House Hotel. He says in the span of a week, business has fallen off a cliff, all due to the coronavirus pandemic.
We started seeing a little bit last week. This week we're sold out the entire week, and we're lucky if we're hitting 50%.
Although many of the questions at the governor's press conference was about the lack of testing for the virus, Cooper made it plain there's going to be some economic pain.
We don't know at this point what the financial impact is. I know that the result of this virus, there will be inconvenience, there will be loss of income.
The Hyatt House is already looking at cutting back after just a week.
We're looking to start shutting down some floors, turning off the power to the floors so we have nothing running on them to help save money with that. There's going to be some cutback in hours.
Well, Allen says he's not talking about layoffs. That would happen as a last resort. For now, at least, most events in Charlotte will go on as scheduled. But, just like the NBA schedule, things could change at a moment's notice. Back to you guys.
Yeah, we all are going to have to adapt in some way as this virus continues. Glenn Counts live for us tonight. Thank you.
The Lancaster County School District is now taking some precautions tonight after a woman tested positive in the county. That woman is in isolation right now at the hospital. Our Aaron Edwards is live tonight. And Aaron, the district just told you 30 minutes ago about their plan for this. What was it?
Scott, the district sent out a memo to parents saying that the district has not been notified by DHEC that this case is related to any schools at this time, but they will be immediately suspending all field trips. They'll also be limiting the amount of visitors and volunteers. Now, this all comes hours after DHEC announced a possible case here in Lancaster County. DHEC says a woman from Lancaster County has the coronavirus after her samples tested positive at DHEC's public health lab. The results still need to be confirmed by the CDC.
I heard about it in Kershaw area, but when it came to Lancaster, it's just like, wow.
DHEC says at this time, there's no evidence that she traveled out of the state or was in contact with anyone from other cases in South Carolina.
I'm very saddened to hear that.
The woman is now in isolation at a hospital, though it's unclear where. In their statement today, state epidemiologist Dr. Linda Bell said, quote, "We're continuing to work with the CDC and our state and local partners. However, based on what's occurring in other states and countries, we expect community spread to grow." Dr. Bell goes on to say, "We understand residents will have concerns about this indication of community spread. However, I urge the public to remain calm and follow recommendations to prevent the spread of illness." And neighbors we spoke to are calm. Many say they're prepared.
No, I'm not worried.
Not really worried. I mean, if it happens, it happens. What can you do?
The district says it also plans to meet again tomorrow to come up with a full plan, and school will continue to operate on a normal schedule. Scott?
All right, normal is, of course, not what we're dealing with a lot lately, Aaron. We'll see if that changes. Thank you.
Well, this just speaks to the minute-to-minute changes we've been seeing. Up until about an hour or so ago, the big news in the sports world was that March Madness would be held with no fans.
Wait a minute, and you'll get some changes in this environment. In the past 90 minutes, the NBA announced they're suspending their season. The NBA suspending their season, that after a player tested positive for the virus. It started with some confusion. Take a look at this video. This is before the Utah Jazz and Oklahoma City Thunder game about to start, but then the players were all told to get off the court, and the fans were all told the game's not happening, you need to go home. We later learned Jazz player Rudy Gobert tested positive for coronavirus. Now, he was not at tonight's game, but they didn't want players who might have been exposed around other teams, around fans. And take a look at what our sports team dug out tonight. This video just 2 days ago, the virus still a laughing matter to some people. That's Gobert touching all the microphones at that news conference. Those microphones go back to, you can see several different newsrooms, and they're touched by reporters. And again, this happened just 2 days before his positive test for coronavirus that sparked the suspension of the NBA season at this point. Now, the NHL is expected to announce its plans for the rest of their season sometime tomorrow.
And as we mentioned this afternoon, the NCAA announced March Madness games would be played without any fans. Really hard to imagine. In the last 2 hours, the ACC shut down access for fans at all remaining tournament games starting tomorrow. Tonight, we're hearing about the most high-profile case yet. Tom Hanks and his wife, Rita Wilson, telling the world that they have tested positive. They're in Australia getting ready to shoot a movie. They tweeted a picture of this trash can with a biohazard bag. They said they felt sick and had fevers, so they got tested. Now they say they're just following doctor's orders and telling us all that they will keep us posted.
Well, tons of events are coming up this weekend. St. Patrick's Day is a big theme. Only a few are canceled locally, most still happening with precautions. One of the biggest, the 20th annual St. Patrick's Day pub crawl in Uptown. Organizers say after talking with CMPD and local medical staff and hearing from Governor Cooper, they think the event should go on. Another big St. Patrick's Day event that's still happening is the Green River Revival out at the Whitewater Center. You see how it gets its name. A director with the center told us they're going off instructions from the CDC to prevent illness while that event happens. The Spring Festival in Fort Mill at Baxter Village has been canceled. Event planners said it was an easy decision, or rather it was not an easy decision, one they did not take lightly. The vendors they know had planned for months to be out there. North Carolina state of emergency and also an increase in the number of coronavirus cases they say led to the decision to cancel that event. The Mecklenburg County Emergency Operations Center is now officially active. Normally we see this during snowstorms or during tornadoes, but today it was activated for coronavirus.
Yeah, it's important to remember there are no cases in Mecklenburg County. This just allows the county and the city to better coordinate their efforts. A lot of school districts are canceling field trips. Several parents in Union County say there was not enough notice before the district canceled a field trip that was supposed to leave at 5 a.m.
Of course, older people are more at risk if they get the virus, which is why Cabarrus County in the court system is making sure they are not unnecessarily exposed. Today, the head judge announced anyone over 65 years old or people with an underlying health condition that makes them vulnerable will not have to show up for jury duty if their number is called. Also not required to even appear in district or superior courts as a plaintiff, a defendant, or even as a witness if you meet that criteria.
Well, if you call 911 here in Mecklenburg County and you ask for medic, operators will have some additional questions for you. They want to know if anyone in the home has flu-like symptoms. The last time medic used this type of protocol was during an Ebola outbreak. We know you still have a lot of questions, and we have them too. This story is continuing to change, as we've said, minute by minute. This Friday night at 7 o'clock, we are going to get you answers. Join us for an hour-long special, Coronavirus Questions Answered. That's live on Channel 9, TV 64, and WSOC Now.